Hello everybody, welcome to Catherine Sews. Thank you so much for joining me today. So in my last video, I told you that I have retired from my teaching job and I'm still going to be here on YouTube and I'm still going to put out a long video every week where I'm working on a bigger project, an upcycle or sewing something from scratch or doing a knockoff, something along those lines that you're kind of used to seeing on my channel. I'm still going to continue that every week. But you know what? I actually do a lot of other sewing that I don't film. Things like just a quick repair or a favor for a friend or a little craft project. And I just sew them because that's what I love to do. And I don't film it because that makes it take way longer. But now that I have a little bit more time, I thought I would keep doing my one big video a week, but I'll also do one short video a week. Maybe a couple. And I thought that the short videos would be kind of like this, just like a weekly vlog of what I'm up to in my sewing room. And that way it can be a little bit interactive. Like if I show you, oh, I just got this quick repair or this favor for a friend, I normally wouldn't film that thing. But if I do get comments saying, oh, actually, I'm interested in that, I'm curious about that, could you make a little short video on it? Then that I think could work really well. So I think I will just start every week with a little quick vlog. We'll see how it goes. I'll let you know what I'm going to be up to this week. And that gives you also a little sneak preview of what video will be coming out on the weekend. And I think it's just kind of a nice way to keep in touch better. So what I'm working on this week, which will be the next big video, is a memory quilt for a friend. So I'm making this quilt out of t-shirts. A family friend passed away in April. And so I asked his wife if she would like to give me a bunch of his t-shirts and I would make a memory quilt for her and her kids. And so I've been working on this. It's just been a labor of love. There's so many beautiful t-shirts in here and it's been a fun project. All of these t-shirts were worn and loved, but there were some stains. And so I'm just putting these little hearts over the stains. And then on top of the hearts, I think what I'm going to do is put a Cricut design. You know, when I closed down my classroom for the summer and for my retirement, I knew that the one thing I was really going to miss, other than the kids, was the Cricut, right? And so I actually did end up getting myself a secondhand Cricut that I bought from a beautiful friend of mine, but I have not used it yet. I haven't even turned it on yet because I've just been so flippin' busy. So I'm going to put that new Cricut to work and I'm going to put the names of the two kids and his wife here. So hopefully I'm finishing that today or tomorrow. And then that'll be the video that comes out this coming weekend. And then here's a little extra that I normally wouldn't film. This is a gift for a friend. 4 or 5 years ago, I made a video about making a special top for a friend of mine who was battling pancreatic cancer. 6 years later, she's still going strong, but I asked her, like, what can I do to help? What do you need from me? And she said, can you make me a couple hospital gowns? And so, yeah, I will. Bless her little heart. So I've got the pattern from Mood Fabric. They have a hospital gown pattern. So I printed off that PDF. I bought this pink cotton. It's a little bit heavier than most hospital gowns would be, but it's all cotton. It's soft. It washes up great. I've already washed it. And I bought a matching package of quilt binding. Now, I bought this at FabCycle, which is like sustainable fabric. They do dead stock and things like that. And then I bought the little package of binding at a place called Our Social Fabric, which is another dead stock. We've got 2 really great sustainable fashion outlets in the Vancouver area. So that I think can work out really nicely. So while I was at FabCycle, they had these pieces of knit. It's really, really nice. It is acrylic, but it feels fantastic. They had this on sale 2 for 1. And so I got 2 pieces. One of them is just solid, no white line. I might have got the last solid one, sorry. But they had lots of this one with the white line in it. And apparently it's from a manufacturer that's been in the Vancouver area since 1908. They manufacture sweaters for private schools. I thought that was kind of cool. So these you might not see again until closer to the fall, but those are lovely pieces. And look at this piece that I already had in my stash, right? Like that's just beautiful. So that's a fall outfit that I will make one of these days. And also at FabCycle, they had a bin of samples. And so I got this little sample sweater and it's just a little bit broken. It just has like, whoopsie, But I think I'm going to be able to hand stitch that back together. It probably never was together. I don't know, but I'll be able to hand sew that back together and it really feels lovely and it looks so nice with the burgundy, right? So that's awesome. And then at our social fabric, they had a fabric of the month that was half price and it was this white t-shirt knit. They call it a baby rib. It has just a tiny little bit of a rib to it. Really nice quality. So I'm going to try to make like the perfect white t-shirt out of this. This piece, because it's the fabric of the month, was half price. So this for about 0.8 of a meter, or let's say that's probably about 3/4 of a yard, cost me $3.20. So that's a deal. So I will link to our social fabric because you can order it online, and I'll link to FabCycle because they also do online. I'm also working on a craft project, which I often am, and I generally don't film them because, first of all, the progress is incredibly slow. But I signed up for a stitch along. I'll put the link to the YouTube channel that I'm following. A few of my Seattle friends, right? The people that came to my Seattle retreat last summer, we're still in touch every single day, multiple times. We're coming up to our first year anniversary of being friends. And so a few of us signed up for that stitch along. So it took me a little while to get started. I'm a little bit behind. I think it's week 4 or 5 of the stitch along, and I'm just on week 2. I did a Google search for embroidery patterns and kind of took one that I found online and modified it on Canva and then put a grid on top of it on Canva, drew the grid and then drew the design on the grid. Totally old school way of putting an embroidery design on fabric. I'm sure there's a million or at least a few better ways of getting your embroidery design onto your fabric. That's the design. I think that's so pretty. You know, I have a thing for butterflies. There's all the butterflies behind me. And then the first stitches are just all the straight stitches. So I've got my running stitch going in there in a few different places. And so that's been fun. I'll work on that. I'll show you. It'll take me weeks, but every week I'll just show you my little progress on that. That'll be nice. And then just a little repair for my son Toby. He's got this t-shirt that has these kind of cool pockets on it, but this was driving him crazy, right? These two little flaps stay down, no problem, but this one is constantly going up. So he asked me if I can do something about that. And I think I'm just going to put a couple like little patches of Velcro there. So a quick little repair there, no big deal. When I went to FabCycle and Our Social Fabric, I was with the Canadians that came with me on the Italy trip. There are 6 of us that were on that trip that all live in the lower mainland of British Columbia, one on the island. And so we were able to get at least 5 of us together. And so we did a date last week, which was really, really nice. We met at a coffee shop. We did some awesome thrifting. We went for a fantastic Italian lunch at Fiorino's in Vancouver. That's the only picture I took of the whole day. And then we went to the 2 sustainable fabric outlets, so FabCycle and Our Social Fabric. So when we were thrifting together, I fell madly in love with these jeans at a place in Vancouver called Mintage Mall, and the company was called Arc Reworks. And honestly, I love them so much, I would have absolutely bought them if they fit. They had 2 pairs, one was too big, one was too small. They just didn't work for me. I would have bought them though, because I do love to support, you know, local young designers, absolutely, but I'm still obsessed with them, so I might just give them a big shout out and make them myself. So I will put a link to their website as well, because I do want to give them as much support as I can, because I love what they're doing, but I might just take some inspo from them and make a pair myself. So that's going to be probably the next big video. I've got a busy day ahead of me because I'm dressed like this because the first thing I need to do is go outside and scrub my deck. Then I'm going to be going to my friend Lindsay's house. We do Pilates in her backyard. It's so nice. And I visit my mom twice a week. She's in a long-term care facility, so I'll go visit her this afternoon. Got a couple errands to run for her this afternoon before I go, and I have to go grocery shopping. So that's a big day. It's one of those days where you think, how did I ever have time for a job? My day just gets so full, even though I am now retired. It's amazing. Alrighty, so I better get outside, start scrubbing my deck, and then go do my Pilates, and then work on my quilt for an hour, and then do my errands, and then go visit my mom, and then do my grocery shopping. Alrighty, thanks so much for joining me for my first little vlog. It's been fun to just connect with you on a more personal level, and I'm looking forward to seeing your comments and seeing if any of this interests you, if I should do videos on it, or just kind of show you my progress. Okay, so I will see you on the weekend with the quilt video, and then I'll see you next week with my second little vlog. And until then, you take care. 4 more. 3, 2. Oh my god, oh, you're tricky too.